And they're running first, second and fifth with the GIO Nissan driven by Mark Gibbs and Rowan Onslow in fifth spot. The two cars splitting the Nissans are the 25 car BMW Benson and Hedges and Dick Johnson, John Bowe and the 17 Shell Sierra.
Up to the cutting. Just watch the car accelerate out of here. Brings the power on. Sits beautifully on the road heading up to Tui's turn. And opening that gap all the time is young Scaife in car number one.
And as we watch Mark Scaife demonstrate the capabilities once more of this car in these conditions, we look back at the things that have transpired so far in the great race this year. It's almost impossible to recall them all and to compile highlights of what has taken place, commencing with Peter Brock being stalled at the start.
Here comes the number 2 car of Anders Olofsson. No, it was still the one car coming off Mazda Elbow. So the order still Scaife, Richards, clear of Olofsson, Longhurst, then Dick Johnson, John Bowe, Mark Gibbs and Rowan Onslow, Alan Bryson, Wynne Percy, Andrew Madecki and Troy Dunstan in the number 55 mobile machine.
Doing a good job in that car.
Yes, they certainly are, Gary. Then Hansford, of course, pairing with Klaus Niedzwitz in the Synovus Vitamins car, and Greg Crick in the 18 Shell Sierra. So they've done very well. Probably the cars that have had the most number of pit stops today.
Well, rounding up that top 10, because you've got as far as number 9, is the car that looks badly in need of a visit to the panel beating shop, and that's the 35 Peter Jackson Sierra in front of the boss, Glenn Seaton, in the new Falcon. And I see just across from our commentary area that the Shell pit crew are readying themselves for a stop. We'll keep our eye on that in the next few minutes. Synovus Sierra number 9. The car driven by Charlie O'Brien, Gary Brabham, the one that they've had so much electrical problem with.
There's Tony Longhurst, the number 25 car, Johnny Cicotto, doing a fabulous job in that earlier today. Tony has taken over the machine.
But is no longer in third place.
Just like Dickie Johnson. Been able to get by a Longhurst for third. GIO car coming through out of the mist as they make their way up Mountain Straight again.
And it's the number 18 Shell car that will be coming in for the pit stop, and Terry Shield will return to the car. I see the pace car is going back out onto the circuit. For what reason, I don't know. We've had no indication of any incident on the circuit. The weather is improving, although that heavy mist persists.
I think it's just about gone. It's just sitting in the trough there on the top of Mount Panorama, and it's quite clear to the left of it.
Well, the pace car dived down the pit lane, but actually hasn't gone out onto the circuit from what I can see from here.
I think it will probably improve from here on in, Gary. You'd indicated earlier. It is quite misty up at the top. Let's check them out for you on our Shell race score. Mark Scaife, Jimmy Richards, the Winfield Nissan lead from their team car, the Neil Crompton Anders Olofsson GTR. Third, Dickie Johnson and John Bowe, the fast qualifiers here yesterday. Fourth is Tony Longhurst at the wheel of the Benson and Hedges BMW. Fifth, car number 4, Mark Gibbs and Rowan Onslow in the GIO Nissan GTR. Sixth spot, car number 16, Wynne Percy and Alan Bryson, the HRT Commodore VP. Seventh is 10, Niedzwitz and Hansford in the Synovus Vitamin Sierra. Eighth, car number 18, the second of the Shell cars, Terry Shield and Greg Crick. Ninth, car number 55, Andy Madecki and Troy Dunstan in the Mobile 1 Commodore. And in 10th spot, car number 35 is Wayne Park and David Parsons of Tasmania. We'll be back.
So this is the 4th time.
We might have a look at the replay now, Gary, and see exactly what happened. Oops, I know what's happening. Straight under the camera, and he's gone straight into the wall. Well, as soon as he got off the blacktop, and I think it locked up, there was nothing there. There he goes, straight into the tyre wall, just at Mazda Forest Elbow. Cars travelling close behind were able to get through, of course, because the car wasn't blocking the track, but it's not really something you want to leave in Mazda corner for the remainder of the race and have someone else run off and do exactly the same thing.
A nasty obstacle. I've just been out for a walk in my rubber clothing, which has come in very handy this weekend, Mike.
It certainly has.
And there's clear blue sky coming from Orange. We're going to have sunshine again before this race finishes. I mean, we've had a bit of everything, really. It's a cocktail.
Well, the pace car is out. Gee, I couldn't think of a worse place or a worse race to want to make your Australian touring car debut at, given the weather conditions. I feel for Wayne Gardner, and he's with Bruce McAvaney. Bruce?
Yes, Mike, the perfect leader, and you're dead right. Wayne is with me, and he was saying a moment ago he's picked the best year. We've had Peter Brock up here, who's been coming since 1969. Colin Bond's not far away. He's driven in 26. No one can remember a year like this, and you've picked it for your first one.
It's a great start, isn't it?
You'll be back to the 500cc's in no time.
Yeah, I considered bikes, to tell you the truth. When I was going down the straight and I couldn't see a thing and there's fog around, I'm going, oh, I think I'll go back to bikes. This is not fun.
Well, you guys are renowned for your bravery and your daredevilness on bikes, but did you fear for your life during this race?
No, I wasn't fearing for my life, but I was fearing that, you know, I might have had with no vision, run into another car or put into a wall or something and ruin the team's chances, you know, because we do want to finish this race. But unfortunately, during that session, when I was having trouble seeing, I could feel a vibration coming, and when Graham got in the car, the tail shaft just dropped out of it, so I knew it was on its way.
You're in 17th position at that stage, and the VN's off the road at the moment. Do you expect it to get back on?
Yeah, unfortunately, they're...
Unfortunately,
yeah, unfortunately, I'm in for some more punishment, and, you know, I'm going back out there. Yeah, they're putting a new tail shaft in. We'll have another go, but we have had problems with the tail shaft yesterday as well, so there is a problem there.
Well, you couldn't have expected it, Wayne. I mean, you came here hoping to maybe finish in the top 10, but you couldn't have expected a day like today. Nobody has. It's been unbelievable.
Well, it's a shame, yeah, because we got the car finally working really good, and I was looking forward to a good hard race, particularly in the dry, and of course it threw it down, and I've been really struggling out there, particularly with vision. I mean, the windscreen is fogged up, and I was sort of trying to look out the steering wheel to see if there's any cars in front of me, and it wasn't fun. In fact, I had to come in and not only have a tyre change, but have an underpants change as well. I mean, it was not fun out there.
I'm glad you did that before you came in here. Brocky said it's the worst conditions he's ever seen. What about you, with all your experience over the years and ridden in every different country in the world? Is this the worst you've ever experienced as a racer?
No, I've been in similar conditions in Germany once in the rain at Hockenheim, and that was not fun. But
that was on the bike?
Yes, but motorcycles don't create as much spray as this, and you know, a car drags up a lot of water off the road and you can't see a thing.
OK, Wayne, good luck. Let's hope you get back out there and have a safe journey, and good luck for the future. You're a very busy man, and we hope to see you back at Bathurst next year.
Thank you.
1987 world champion Wayne Gardner. As we go back to you, Mike.
Thanks, Bruce. I think Wayne's happy to sit there with you for the remainder of the afternoon. I might need a sky hook to drag him out of the studio. Good on you, Wayne. Good luck.
Thank you.
The car's still coming down. Will only be a lap or so under the pace car, I would think. Dickie Johnson. Gee, I tell you what, he is hanging on like you couldn't believe today. It's a day for the old pros, Dick.
You never know, Mike, do you?
Do you never know? Do you reckon you could, if you could do a pit stop for a bit of a four-wheel drive adjustment, it would help?
Oh, mate, you wouldn't believe. Bowie, this is Bowie's car that he used all year.
Yeah.
And you know, he likes, you know, these little bits and pieces in the car. He's fairly fussy, you know. And he's got pipes coming. There's more donkey's things in here than I've ever seen in my whole life. They're here, they're here, they're here. And all they're doing is filling up with water and blowing water all over the inside of the windscreen. So I need a wiper on the inside as well as the outside.
So how's the car running?
It's fantastic. It really is fantastic. But as I said, what are we? Almost halfway. But gee, we've still got a long way to go.
Yes, there is a long way to go. If it goes full distance, I hope you got a good set of floodlights.
Well, I tell you what, I don't think I've got any floodlights. The lights are covered on the front, so I might have to get a couple of one of those ones with the stick-on doobies on the side here.
Dick, your qualifying lap yesterday was sensational. That was a special qualifying engine put together to get pole?
Mike, it certainly wasn't. It was the same engine that we'd run. We changed an engine on Wednesday after the first session, and on Thursday, Friday was the same engine, and it's just been taken out. It's running the same boost. I've turned the boost down one knob now because of the wet conditions, but other than that, there's no difference from the one we got in today. It's just that at this point in time, we've tipped a lot more fuel into this to keep it cool down the long straights, just to make sure the thing hangs together for us.
Tyres haven't been a problem?
No, the tyres have been very, very good indeed. You know, these sort of conditions, it's very difficult to know whose tyres are going to be good and whose are going to be bad, but these seem to be feeling quite good.
It's really a very funny race this year. It'd be hard to put a handle on it. I mean, so many things have happened, and, you know, you're going to have a dry run to the flag, hopefully. Yeah,
that would be nice, you know, just to cap off a week that's been weather that's been quite fantastic, really. The weather's been very acceptable. It's been cool, and we've had a bit of warm weather. But now, boy, who would ever predicted this would have happened?
No, not with the... not almost on cue as it happened today.
Well, being a boater, you know, I've got a fair idea with the weather. And I think we made the right choice of tyres when we came into the pits, because I could see this huge front coming across the mountain over here. And I said to Ross, I said, pal, Bowie better get his hat on, because he is going to be the one in the wet, not me.
I've got Doug Mulray with us, like to have a chat.
Dickie. G'day, Dickie. How are you, mate?
Good, Doug, and you?
Yeah, just fine. Looks like they were about to cut your show in half, too.
You're not wrong.
But the weather's coming good. You can see that blue sky moving in from Orange, and you'll run home on the dries and give the punters a bit of drama, I say, mate.
I sincerely hope so. I think the only thing to worry about in that situation early in the piece is when you get a dry line and it's very narrow and you've got to pass slower cars. You've got to be very, very careful.
Dick, what's it feel like when you're running in these appalling conditions and the turbo cuts in? You must lose all traction at over 200 k's.
I can tell you, Doug, it's like chewing the leg on a chocolate frog. It's about that much fun.
It's not an experience I can relate to, but I'll take your word for it. Dick Johnson. We've just had word that Perkins has come in to put brake pads in the car. It's hard to imagine the brakes getting a big hosing in these conditions, but he's putting brake pads and an alternator in. So he's had his electrical woes today. Firstly, a battery problem, now an alternator. We suspect that battery may have gone earlier because the alternator wasn't delivering enough power.
Well, with conditions drying up now, new brake pads in the car, he won't have a problem to the finish, will he?
Let's hope not. He's had enough for the day.
Sure has. Well, as you saw in the previous picture, they've got the Reed and Ashby Lansvale Smash Repairs Commodore on the back of the truck, and will be off for circuit very shortly. So there's probably another lap, maybe 2 laps at most, of pace car to go before we get back to racing here. Nissan's running 1-2. Dick Johnson, 3rd place, followed by Tony Longhurst, then Mark Gibbs. At the top 5, 5th place in the race held by Alan Grice, Win Percy in the first of the Holton Racing Team cars. Back over in our pit studio, another of the very disappointed men here today, Colin Bond in the Caltex Sierra with problems right at the outset. He's with Bruce McAvaney.
Yes, you're right, Gary, and welcome, Colin. It wasn't much of a day for you, was it?
It wasn't actually. I must admit, you know, we've got a brand new car to come here with, and we had a slight problem with the oil pressure this morning, and it's just something that you can't fix, and the car's sitting in the garage, you know, and now Terry Bossenjack had a big mishap, you know.
Yeah, that's a spectacular thing he had, wasn't it?
It was. He just said, look, he just honestly couldn't see a thing. The car in front of him was a black car. There's a lot of spray. He was going down the straight. Next minute, it just was there, and they just touched, and it was all over. So the conditions were very bad, as most of the drivers have been, you know, talking about before. And I think basically the cars probably aren't set up as well as they could be for these conditions, because we don't have these conditions very much in Australia.
Colin, you actually missed, I guess, the worst of the experience because you were in so early. It's a paradox,
Sure.
really. I mean, you're out of the race so early and you didn't cop the worst of the conditions.
No, which is a bit of a shame, I guess. I don't mind driving in the rain, although I must...